I nickname him Aiden the Gazelle Mizell because man,
Ooh!
he is such a smooth runner.
Tell me a little bit. We had a ton of commits. We're going to go through each individual one. You spoke about all of them this week, and you've been dialed in, kind of watching it unfold. I went to Friday Night Lights on Friday. I'll talk about that a little bit. But let's start with Aidan Mizell, then we'll kind of work our way down. What's your thoughts on it? What are you excited about?
Dude, Aiden Mizell is probably, if not the fastest, he's probably the fastest wide receiver in the state of Florida. One of the fastest players in this 2023 class. Reason why I like Aiden Mizell, a lot of people compare him to Jerry Jeudy. I really like that comp because I think he does what Jerry Jeudy did, like he was at Alabama. That's why a lot of Alabama fans were actually wanting him. Just the way he runs his routes, the way he catches, the way he glides. I nickname him Aiden the Gazelle Mizell because man, he is such a smooth runner. I really do, man. I'm telling you, defenders think they have an angle on this guy, and they just do not. All the tape that I've watched on him, I've just thought whenever I looked at him, like he just jumps off the tape. That's when you're like, okay, this guy is for real because he just keeps popping. And, he's going to be a deep play threat. He's one of them guys that's going to he could take the top off of a defense. And, you just have to have a great defensive scheme against him. But, I think when he gets to the University of Florida, you can see this guy going 70, 75-yard touchdowns just on his speed alone. But he is such a smooth runner, catches the ball very well. He's not a body catcher, catches with his hands. He is a great route runner as well.
Aiden the Gazelle Mizell. I think I'm going to clip it and tag him in this because he might want to adopt that over. I mean, AM is classic, right? But yeah, the guy knows of his speed. He's not shy about it. So that's an incredible name. And yes, I was watching some of his tapes. The guy's topping. And yes, he's catching with his hands too, right? He's not just, I saw a lot of guys this weekend at Friday Night Lights, obviously the young kids, and they're growing and they're maturing, trying to catch it with their body. Obviously the one-on-ones, they wanted to look as flashy and as, cool as possible in that time because the lights were on, it was bumping in there. But some of the ones that were running, you could tell they were more experienced and more just matured in their position because they obviously were catching with their hands and keeping the ball out in front of them as well too, and catching it and then running versus trying to already thinking ahead. It was really cool kind of seeing them break down and go through that as well. But yeah, super stoked for Aidan Mizell. The man walked out with 2 alligators. I mean, it's going to be a good weekend when homeboy starts strolling out. I mean, that is like setting the tone. It was exciting when it happened. And then when I went to Friday Night Lights to see the buzz, and we'll get into Friday Night Lights as an individual topic, but to see the buzz there, it's something's going on there in Gainesville, and it's changing for the better for sure. It's not just all talk, right? For a while, it felt like it was more just smoke and mirrors, and we're just talking about it, scare money, don't make money. Billy's there, it's new, it's fresh. It's not just words, right? It's action. And Billy talked about that. I always go back to that quote of it's only a dream unless you start performing, and it's definitely starting to perform. It's not just a dream anymore. So it's really cool to see what's happening.
You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. Just the environment, just the different feel, the momentum that the Florida Gators have gotten right now. But, you can just hear from all the players right now, they love the atmosphere that's going on right now at the University of Florida, and you haven't heard that in quite some time. So, what you hear from these kids that are coming out of these visits or, even why they're committing, it's just, I don't know, it's just electric right now. So, it's great to be a Florida Gator fan at this moment.
Look, so we'll go to Steve real quick. We'll bounce it off Steve. So he said that Friday Night Lights is basically his worst nightmare, and it was definitely this weekend where it felt like everyone was just kind of capital. I mean, Florida was just one after the other, and it seemed like Florida State. It didn't matter what they did. I mean, we're gonna just roast them, right? I mean, you guys had a water balloon fight. You're trying to defend it with all your glory. It's not that big of a deal. But when you look at what was going on at Friday Night Lights and you compare it, it's just like it's easy not to roast it, right? It's easy not to make it's just too easy to make fun of. And then the barbecue was a complete disaster. They just threw up some chairs in a table, and if you saw what Florida's looked like, I mean, they had these lights, they had the balloon arches, I mean, they had the tables, they had like double like it was an event. right? Like it was like, hey, we're coming out, we're gonna have a good time. It wasn't just like we're gonna cook you some burgers and like chit chat. It just something is changing, and Billy has got things dialed in right now, from what I can see.
Yeah, and we've talked about it on the cast here before. Friday Night Lights FNL has been a huge recruiting weekend for Florida as long as I can remember. I mean, I want to say this thing is going on maybe 10, 15 years, and every year it's just always had a huge impact for the Gators in recruiting. It diminished a little bit when Mullen was there. Again, while he's not there, but to take a weekend like that and to just really be able to showcase the university, be able to showcase the roster where these kids fit in, you already have a huge platform, and to make sure that you're doing it the right way, which Billy certainly did, certainly from the outcome of some of these recruits. I mean, you can't ask for much more than that if you're a Gator fan.